Okay, so in this video, we are going to begin by installing Anaconda. I already have it on this computer, so I can't really show you too much how to do that. I just said, so I should back up a second. So Anaconda, um, here, what is Anaconda? So here is a brief description here on the Wikipedia page. So let me begin by saying Python is a programming language. Anaconda is a distribution of the Python programming language, and R apparently. Oftentimes, I know about it because it's used for scientific computing. Okay, so the idea here is, the reason I like it. You'll see why I like it just as we go along. But this what did it say? Package management and deployment thing is very easy to do with Anaconda. And if you try to kind of do these things just with Python on your computer and doing things manually, it gets very difficult. Now, there could also be difficult things when we're dealing with Anaconda as well, but I think Anaconda makes things easy. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is install Anaconda. So, I just Googled installing Anaconda. You pick one you want here. Go to installing on Windows. So I'm only going to be able to do this a little bit. You download the Anaconda installer. There's nothing there's nothing mysterious here. I assume most of you have installed things on your computer before, so installing Anaconda should not be that difficult of a thing to do. And then of course it's going to come up here. Just a minute, I guess. Don't see it. Now I've probably done the thing where I've opened it like 3 times and now it's going to come up 3 different times. Okay, so here we go. You just click next, all of this, I agree, just me, next. And I think I'm even going to be able to do this. Sorry, yeah, so, okay. All right, so then you would click next and continue going on that way there. Okay, so now I already have Anaconda installed on my computer, so let me show you how to, what's going on with Anaconda. So I'm going to come over here, type in Anaconda. If you look over here, I think maybe it'll mention an Anaconda navigator. That's kind of like a graphical user interface, but I want to use the prompt here. Now, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so one of the things, I actually don't know why I wanted that up there, so never mind. Okay, one of the things that we're going to want to talk about in the context of Anaconda is environments. So right now we're just sort of in what's called I think the base environment is what it would be called. Oftentimes you want to have different programming environments for different programming projects depending on what you're going to be doing. So for example, if you're doing something that's very related to, partial differential equations, you might have a whole bunch of packages that are specific just to partial differential equations, and you don't really need those in another programming project that's doing a lot of machine learning or data science, when you don't really need all of the partial differential equations functionalities. Sometimes you can have complications when you have packages and things like that. So the idea is that you want to try to silo your programming projects into different environments. Okay, and so to do that, we need to create an environment. Okay, so an environment is just something within this environment. You can change things in this environment, like change the version of Python, change the version of different software packages you're using, and it will not affect the things in other silos. Okay. Whereas if you try to do everything in one, I might need to change the version of Python for this specific thing, but not for this specific thing over here, and now things are going to get a little chaotic. Okay. So we're going to first create an environment. So we use that by saying conda create. Okay, so conda is the program that we're using. So that's the program that we're using. Create is the thing that we're wanting to do, and we're going to do dash in. This says that we want to name it. That's what the dash in means. It's a flag that says we want to name it. You name it whatever you want to name it. I'm going to name it Math 696 Summer 24. Now that's a little bit too long, so I'm going to say Math 696 S24, and now it's going to create an environment here. Okay, and it'll ask me if I'm sure that I want to do it. I'm going to say yes, and there we go. Okay, so now this says to activate the environment, use this, and to deactivate, use that. So conda activate Math 696 S24. Okay, so now I'm in my specific environment made just for this class. So for example, one reason that I like to use environments for this class, I'm going to be installing packages that I have in the base class, that I have in the base environment, that I don't have in this environment. So just like teaching-wise, it's helpful for me because I can show you all of the things that I need to install. I mean, that's not the best reason to use environments, but this is the idea here. Okay, so I'm going to do conda deactivate. Whoops. Oh, I did spell that right. Okay, so now let's say, obviously, in this case, I could just look up and say that that's what the name of the environment is. But let's say I close conda, like I'm done working for the day. Then I open it back up, and I wonder, like, what is the name of the environment that I created? So we can do conda list, and it will give a list of our environments. No, sorry. Sorry, I don't know what I just said. Or I thought I was recording and then I wasn't. Or I was and I wasn't and I was. So what I've done here, so let me just close this out. What I'm saying is, the question that I posed was, what happens if, come on now. What happens if you're done with work and you open up, you come in the next day and you can't remember what the name of your environment is or which environment you want to use? So what you can do is conda env list. Conda, environments list. Okay, so again, this is sort of very standard kind of Unix command line syntax here. And this is going to give a list of all of my environments. So I have several. So I think this is the one that I was just working with. I made this one as well when I was doing something else. But anyways, this is the one that I was working with. So I would do conda activate Math 696 S24. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do in this video is I want to install Jupyter Notebooks. Okay, or install Jupyter. So the command that we will be using to use Jupyter Notebook is this, and hopefully this will not work. So I can show you, I say hopefully because I want to show you what it looks like when it doesn't work. I don't have Jupyter Notebook, so I should get an error message that says something like, I don't know what Jupyter is. Okay, so that's what we get here. Jupyter is not recognized as an internal or external command, operable program, or batch file. So now I'm going to do conda install Jupyter. Okay, very simple syntax here. Okay, and so that's what it's doing now. It is installing Jupyter, and this is on a highly restricted computer on things that I can and can't do. But even here, because I'm doing it in the environment, I'll be able to install it. Okay, so that's the other thing. That's another reason that I like using environments, because I can install things just for me in this one program, and I don't have to have permission when I do that. Whereas if I sort of install it to the computer, whatever difference you want to make there, I'm not exactly sure what difference I'm making, other than the fact that if I just try to do a normal thing and install something by downloading it and opening it and running it, I have to have administrator permission. But of course I don't here because I'm doing it. Everything is being siloed to this environment. So I'm going to pause the recording while it's doing this. Okay, so there we have here, and so now I'll be able to open Jupyter Notebook. Okay, now again, I haven't told you what Jupyter Notebooks are yet. It's just the thing in which we will be doing our programming. It is open in a web browser. So this opened in my other screen, so I brought it over here. And now if we want to start a new Jupyter file, we just say new notebook. Okay, this is the Jupyter Notebook. That is enough for this video. In the next video, we'll do some basic programming. But at this point, hopefully you can have Jupyter installed.